Could the Yankees consider a trade for Sandy Alcantara? Is this a viable possibility? That's what we're going to discuss throughout today's conversation. Recently, I came across an article that listed a few potential trade targets for the team, and one of them was Sandy Alcantara. At one point, he was viewed as one of the most promising young pitchers in Major League Baseball. Sandy won the Cy Young Award in 2022, finishing the season with 14 wins and 9 losses, a 2.28 earned run average across 32 starts, and a total of 228.2 innings pitched. However, in 2023, his performance declined. He ended the season with a 4.14 ERA over 28 games. On top of that, he underwent Tommy John surgery on October 6th of that year, which caused him to miss the entire 2024 season. This year, his ERA stands at a worrying 7.27. In his most recent outing, he allowed 6 runs in just 2 innings. Going back to the Yankees, acquiring Sandy would require a significant investment. First, they wouldn't be the only team interested. If they decide to pursue him, the competition will be fierce. They'd have to present a strong offer to convince the Miami organization. So, what would it take to land him? In my personal opinion, any trade involving Sandy Alcantara would, from Miami's perspective, have to include George Lombard. He's versatile, able to play third base, second base, or shortstop. Any Yankees proposal for Sandy should have Lombard as a central piece, along with additional assets. Without Lombard, securing Sandy would be incredibly difficult. For instance, a trade including Lombard, Will Warren, and Spencer Jones is not one I'd be comfortable with. Sure, Sandy would effectively replace Will Warren, which makes sense. I'd even consider trading Spencer Jones if necessary. But George Lombard? No way. Have you seen how well he's been playing this year? He's been shining at third base with impressive infield skills. I saw him make an exceptional play at third for Hudson Valley, and his hitting has also been solid. Trading George is simply not an option. Absolutely not. Especially not for a player whose last great season was in 2022. Yes, he missed the entire 2024 season due to Tommy John surgery in 2023, but his 2023 season wasn't convincing either. If you want to argue that his struggles were due to health issues, that's a valid point. The argument is fair. However, from my perspective, his 2023 performance showed a clear decline. So far this season, the numbers are not promising. Of course, I hope he recovers fully. Still, if I were running the franchise, I would hesitate to move George Lombard, especially considering that other teams are also in the race for Alcantara. There's another trade package the Yankees could offer for Sandy, and it would also include George Lombard, along with another Major League player. That package could consist of George Lombard, Ben Hess, the team's third-best pitching prospect, and Ben Rice. Again, I wouldn't go for it. The article I read listed Will Warren and Ben Rice as the 2 most likely trade pieces, which is why they're included in these proposed deals. Personally, I wouldn't go through with it. If I were in charge, I wouldn't trade Ben Rice. I wouldn't move Lombard. And honestly, I wouldn't touch Ben Hess either. So that second trade proposal is completely off the table for me. As for the first one, I might reconsider Will Warren. I could entertain the idea of moving Spencer Jones. But George Lombard is untouchable. No chance. If I had to let him go, I'd demand the best prospect in your organization in return. And if I were Miami, that's just not going to happen. So yes, Sandy Alcantara would come at a very high cost. He remains extremely valuable. His salary this year is $17 million. Next year, it's the same. Then in 2027, there's a club option, and if exercised, he'll earn $21 million. That's why I wouldn't be willing to give up too much in a trade for Sandy. It would cost a fortune. If you can identify a different player and the Marlins are willing to make a deal, then maybe there's an opportunity. However, if I were Miami and you offered Spencer Jones and Will Warren, I'd definitely ask for a third player, and that player would need to be exceptional. Giving up such a significant asset for Sandy would truly carry a steep price. If another player could be identified and the Marlins agreed, a deal might be possible. But again, if I'm in Miami and you offer Spencer Jones and Will Warren, I'd still demand a third player of real value. Unfortunately, Lombard is off the table. That's just the reality. Now, could Lombard be part of a deal for Sandy, along with 2 or more players? It can't just be him, of course. At least two more assets would have to be involved. Even then, I can't imagine the Yankees agreeing to that. I wouldn't, especially not after the regression we saw in 2023. Yes, he had surgery in 2024, but his performance this year has been poor. There's no better way to put it. He's been underwhelming. So, to acquire Sandy Alcantara, a very strong trade package would be necessary. The inconsistency in the Yankees' starting rotation has been incredibly frustrating. Max Fried has been the only reliable option so far. He's been great, but naturally he'll have a few off days too, such as the nature of pitching with so many games in a season. This year, Rodon has been inconsistent. 2 strong outings and 3 shaky ones. Will Warren has also lacked consistency. Carrasco has been unstable. Clark Schmidt had a rough recent start, giving up 2 home runs and 5 runs total. I'm just tired of the lack of continuity. If this rotation doesn't improve, the Yankees may need to look outside the organization for help. Whether that means going after Sandy Alcantara or possibly Logan Gilbert, any target of that caliber will require a significant package. Personally, I'm hesitant to give up what would be necessary to land one of these pitchers. Sandy may very well bounce back and have an incredible second half. It's certainly possible that this is just a temporary setback. He missed all of last year, and that's worth remembering. I'm not saying his career is over. Not at all. But there are key factors to consider. Making a deal for a pitcher of this caliber would take a serious effort. He may return to form and finish the season strong. That's definitely within the realm of possibility. After all, he did miss the entire previous season, which is a major factor. So I'm not implying that his career is over or that he's finished. That couldn't be further from the truth. However, I'm not willing to give up a top prospect for him, especially after what we saw in 2023. Sure, he won the Cy Young in 2022, but let's not forget who won the MVP that same year, a National League star who's still playing at a high level. That player has continued to impress at first base. Defensively, he's been phenomenal, and offensively, I think he's set up for a season reminiscent of an all-time great. I could see him hitting 13 or 14 home runs and maintaining a batting average above .300. Just imagine that. All I'm saying is Sandy is not at his 2022 peak anymore. He's still young, of course, but that was 3 years ago. We'll see. For me, the price is simply too high. Now I'm curious. What do you think? Am I out of touch? Am I being unreasonable by refusing to include certain players in a deal for Sandy? Let me know your thoughts. Thanks for listening. But before we continue, please remember to join our channel and give this video a like. Your support allows us to keep bringing you the latest news about the New York Yankees. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments. In a move that sent shockwaves through the baseball world, the New York Yankees made headlines by announcing the acquisition of superstar Bryce Harper from the Philadelphia Phillies. Known for his explosive bat, charismatic presence, and unwavering confidence, Harper had long been the face of the Phillies and one of the most marketable players in Major League Baseball. The sudden announcement took fans and analysts by surprise, especially given Harper's deep ties with Philadelphia and his contract that was meant to keep him there through 2031. Sources close to the situation revealed that negotiations between the two teams had been conducted in absolute secrecy, with only a handful of executives aware of the blockbuster deal in the works. The Yankees, always unafraid to make bold moves in pursuit of championships, are believed to have offered a package that included multiple top prospects and financial considerations, convincing the Phillies to part ways with their franchise cornerstone. Harper's arrival in the Bronx adds even more firepower to an already formidable Yankees lineup, which is now packed with elite hitters and World Series ambitions. The move signals a win-now mentality for the Yankees front office, looking to end their championship drought and restore their dominance in October. For Harper, the transfer represents a new chapter in his storied career as he joins one of baseball's most iconic franchises under the bright lights of New York. Fans at Yankee Stadium are already buzzing with anticipation, dreaming of towering home runs and postseason heroics. The reaction in Philadelphia, however, has been one of disbelief and heartbreak, as Harper was not just a star, but a symbol of hope and loyalty for the Phillies faithful. As the MLB season unfolds, all eyes will be on Harper in pinstripes, a sight few imagined, but one that will undoubtedly reshape the landscape of baseball in 2025. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the New York Yankees, please subscribe to our channel and give us a like. We always appreciate your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.